So let me pull up some things that I did like this week, which is a weird thing to recommend or kind of recommend, because it was like, I don't know. It's just a weird, I don't know. I was shocked that I would, first of all, I'm not sure I should have watched it. I feel a little, all right, let me see if I can just open it as a tab and go from there. So Winning Time. So Winning Time is the almost like HBO's answer to The Last Dance. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. So HBO's answer to Last Dance is to have this show about the Lakers and the rise of Showtime. And I will say, I stumbled across it and I watched it. It is not family friendly. This show's full of profanity and all sorts of shenanigans. But I have to give them credit because this is the backstory to the Lakers that no one wanted to talk about. Like, this is the stuff that actually happened, right? Athletes have come forward. I mean, I heard someone talking about they didn't even care if they won when they won at Los Angeles because they all cared about was the party after. And I was like, whoa. The show starts where, Irvin is testing positive for HIV, and the guy driving home starts crying. And all of this was very strange to just drop in. And then we're going to flash back to Irvin versus, Magic versus Bird, national championship 1979, draft. Bird's going to the Celtics for this massive amount of money. The Lakers had this first pick. There's a coin toss scene. They're going to take Magic, but they don't want to take. Not everybody wants to take because Jerry West is a complete a-hole, to be honest. So you see John C. Reilly in the photo because he is Jerry Buss buying the team, and he's basically almost like a Trumpian. I don't even know how much is true or not true in the Jerry Buss story, but he's almost like a Trumpian version of a real life sort of entrepreneur. He's going to trade real estate and some cash. He's finagling people with cash and getting a loan and all these different things. And very strange. Now that's Jason Clarke on the right, who plays Jerry West. And Jason Clarke, man, the first thing you have to remember is this dude is Australian. So he is freaking amazing in all of these movies that he does. I'm just so impressed with his body of work. He's just done some great stuff. That's all there is to it. I just think he's just done an incredible job, and his immersion with Jerry West is fantastic. So yeah, the first episode was out. I really liked it, but more than just that, they also had an actual documentary, not this, of Magic versus Bird documentary. Let's see if we can get image pulled up so you can see. A Courtship of Rivals is what it's called. And let me see if I can get, like I said, I get this image pulled up for you. Yeah, it looks something like this. Yeah, let me pull this up. So basically, it's Bird versus Magic stuff. And I liked it a lot. Man, it was good. It took me back, man. Took me back. I was very, very pleased with this. This actually made me very happy. I hadn't really obviously spent any time thinking about Magic and Bird lately, but it made me want to. It made me watch some videos on YouTube and take me back to some fun memories, because this was like literally my nexus, man. I mean, I literally remember. I don't remember the draft. I remember the championship game. I mean, obviously my family's from Indiana. We moved in 1979, but obviously they were obsessed with Larry Bird, Indiana State, going to the NCAA championship, losing, but had such great respect for both these players. They start in the NBA. So now I'm like, and this is like an era, our family was kind of moving around doing some stuff in 1979, and they would entertain me by buying me basketball cards, sports cards when we got to Florida. They had football, but At the time, it was basketball cards. I remember being in Texas, and I remember just getting basketball cards, having them on the floor. I mean, literally having those cards. I had the famous cards, the 3 cards, and I remember they were perforated. I took them apart. Like I was that kid, 8 years old, because didn't turn 9 till the summer. 8, 9 years old. Bird Magic is just literally like a flag in tent pole in my life and childhood. So this just took me back. I mean, I remember Game 6 of the finals, the injury to Kareem. Magic comes in, basically starts at center, plays all 5 positions, scores 42 points. Magic's now a superstar. Bird's a superstar. The NBA is just different. Like, it's just hooked. I was hooked. Man, it was so good. And this documentary is great. The show, not for the meek, not for everybody. Definitely not PG. It's HBO. It is all of its raunchiness. Oops, sorry. But I got to give props for props is due. It's pretty good too. I mean, you got some good acting going on. I like the fact that they were portraying Irvin's dad the way they did. He's probably the most likable, best character that you like. Dad's this work hard guy, going through the knocks, man. Going, I'm picking up trash, working for the city. I'm doing this job, doing that job, trying to give you a life, and you're trying to, bleed these guys dry to get more money out of it. Because Irvin just kind of walks away from the deal, wants more money, ultimately gets a little more money. And of course, once he's really Magic, obviously he got a lot of money later. But anxious to see where that show goes. But definitely highly recommend the Magic Bird documentary, Courtship of Rivals. So let me put a pin in that, because I definitely thought these were all real fun, nostalgic, take me back to my childhood, love of the NBA. Love why I just can't stand the NBA now. Like I cannot do it. Real, and got to be honest, part of me doesn't understand how people do it. Like, I really don't get how people watch this. The documentary kind of touches on that too, because it talks about the 70s, where the players were all in it for themselves, showboating, shooting their own points. All they care about their points, their box score. It was all like Showtime stuff, but there's like cigarette smokers, there's drug use. They're dealing with there's a lot of blaming of the racism at the time. Now I don't remember too much of that. It definitely wasn't a conversation in my house. No one, and actually, to be honest, they praised all these players. It wasn't like my family, so I didn't grow up around any of that. Like there was such a respect and love of the black athletes too. I mean, all I heard about Wilt Chamberlain my whole life. Like, no one ever stopped talking about Wilt scored 100 points, and the amazing Wilt versus Bill Russell. They loved all this famous Indiana Pacer ABA team. So it's like, I had to hear about George McGinnis till my brain would hurt. Danny Roundfield, I believe, Artis Gilmore, the Colonels of Kentucky. Just had to hear of all that. And of course, Dr. J. Dr. J comes out of the ABA, goes to the pros. He's playing for the Sixers. He's a phenomenal athlete. I mean, gosh, Dr. J was early Michael Jordan, LeBron. Like, he was so amazing. The game was just different for them. Like, it was just a different game. So he wasn't going to put up 30 points. He played on teams that had other players that did well. They made it to the championship game that year, 1979, 80, lost to the Lakers. So, yeah, it was. I grew up with that. I didn't grow up with the racism part, but that was brought up in this documentary, and it was interesting that they bring up all this showboating stuff. Yet that's the modern NBA to me. I don't see players that want to play team ball much. I don't see team. That's what I want to see. I want to see a team that's not going to let the other teams shoot 3-pointers like that. Figure out a way to win. Tough, grinding. Even like the Pistons defense would be fun to see a team come back, and next thing you know, the Warriors can't score more than 90 on them. That'd be what I'd love to see. That'd be great. That would be something that'd be interesting. But I will say this about the modern NBA: there are a handful of players like Trae Young and Ja Morant, Jason Tatum. Those are the 3 I can think of off the top of my head that kind of make me think, might want to watch some of this. Maybe.
This is Kevin Murphy from Rip Tracks and Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Hey, this is Mark from Casting Crowns.
Hey, this is Alan Powell from the film The Song.
Hey, this is Christian Kane.
This is Colin Mockery.
Hello, everybody. This is Ernie Singleton, a.k.a. T-Dog from The Walking Dead, and you are listening to my main man, Brandon.